Good day. Today's Saturday, August 27, 2022. FBI looked for public protection records at Trump's Mar-a-Lago, sworn statement shows. A broadly redacted affirmation used to legitimize the pursuit of the ex-president's Florida resort was unlocked on Friday. The FBI looked through Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida this month in the wake of addressing a critical number of witnesses and finding reasonable justification that public safeguard data and proof of impediment existed at the previous president's property, as per recently unlocked court filings on Friday. The subtleties contained in the oath used to tie down a warrant to look through Mar-a-Lago, to some extent redacted to safeguard the continuous criminal examination concerning Trump's unapproved maintenance of government mysteries, offered the clearest understanding yet into the reason for the FBI's looking for consent to look through the hotel. Columnists outside the Paul S. Rogers Federal Building and U.S. Courthouse in Midtown West Palm Beach as the report is delivered. Redacted Trump Mar-a-Lago sworn statement delivered, 5 vital focal points. Understand more. There is sensible support to acknowledge that additional documents that contain organized NDIR that are true records subject to record upkeep requirements presently stay at the premises. There is furthermore sensible avocation to acknowledge that evidence of deterrent will be found, it said. The testimony put forth the defense that the FBI expected to effectively recover the United States government's most delicate insider facts, particularly after it came to think Trump and his group were clutching characterized reports in spite of rehashed endeavors, incorporating with the summon, to get their return. Generally squeezing, as per the testimony, was that the FBI had recognized the reasonable justification that reports containing public protection data were dissipated across Mar-a-Lago, possibly endangering knowledge assembling and uncovering the characters of human surreptitious sources. The particular notices of the most confidential regions at Mar-a-Lago, for example, Pine Hall, which isn't especially commonly known, recommends the FBI had close functional information from a source about where the reports were being kept and possibly being moved around the hotel. While the specific beginning of that data seems to have been kept redacted, in a going with lawful notice making sense of its redactions, the Equity Division uncovered interestingly that the FBI had talked with a critical number of non-military personnel witnesses prior to looking for the warrant. The sworn statement likewise referenced an extra critical justification for requiring the record to be held under seal. The FBI has not yet recognized all possible crook Confederates and has not found all proof connected with its examination at first. In presenting the defense that the FBI expected to look through Mar-a-Lago, the testimony, created by an FBI specialist working in the department's Washington field office, likewise showed how Trump had recently held government mysteries at Mar-a-Lago after he was no longer president. The FBI noticed that after Trump at last returned around 12 boxes of materials to the National Archives this year, an FBI emergency found 184 extraordinary ordered records, including 25 checked top secret, 92 stamped secret, 67 stamped private, and some with Trump's particular penmanship. The reports additionally incorporated some with markings like SI for extraordinary insight, HCS for knowledge from human furtive sources, no foreign, for not releasable to foreign nationals, and FISA for the Unfamiliar Intelligence Surveillance Act, and ORCON, which confines non-U.S. spread. Of most enormous concern was that particularly portrayed records were unfurled, intermixed with various records, and regardless improperly remembered, it advised. As indicated by the testimony, the FBI basically reasoned that Mar-a-Lago was the location of possible infringement of the Espionage Act, check of equity, and a rule that condemns the unapproved evacuation or maintenance of government records all the more for the most part. The oath became public after Government Judge Bruce Reinhart, who supported the warrant and is regulating the situation, requested the Equity Division to present the redacted variant before early afternoon, prompting a strained and winded hang-time for the court in West Palm Beach to unlock the reports. Trump was troubled about the testimony. In an explanation on his virtual entertainment site, Trump, in shrill language that is normal to him, shot the arrival of the report. He considered it a complete advertising trick by the FBI and the Equity Division and blamed the adjudicator for having individual enmity toward him. The past president said in a subsequent post, using maybe of the most notable express he ships off to portray himself as the setback from undermining conspiracy, and he again depicted the FBI search as a break-in. President Joe Biden showed up in the wake of being inquired as to whether it was at any point suitable for a president to bring back ordered material, saying that it depends upon the report and it truly depends on how secure the region was. He had a totally secure site at his home and on Friday was bringing back home a duplicate of his day-to-day in site preparation, he said, yet those records would later be gotten back to the military. The fractional arrival of the testimony utilized for the Mar-a-Lago search is a huge point for the Equity Division, which had gone against unlocking any piece of the oath until it was overruled by Reinhardt, and the head legal officer, Merrick Garland, who by and by supported the warrant following quite a while of consultations. The Equity Division had initially gone against unlocking the oath by any stretch of the imagination and documented a redacted variant solely after being constrained by Reinhardt last week. Trump had demonstrated beforehand that he had upheld unlocking the sworn statement, however his legal counselors never documented a conventional movement with that impact, rather passing on the work to an alliance of news sources that pushed to have the testimony become public. Trump has since recorded a different movement to have a purported unique expert designated to figure out what held onto materials examiners can use as proof in the examination. The movement likewise means to drive the Equity Division to give a more point-by-point rundown of what was recovered by the FBI. Trump's legal counselors said their movement ought to be conceded on the grounds that the redacted affirmation gives basically no data that would permit Trump to comprehend the reason why the strike occurred, or what was taken from his home. A couple of lines that are unredacted bring up additional issues than replies. That is the explanation. We made a substitute choice, to keep our enumerating open for all perusers, paying little notice to where they live or what they can tolerate paying. We have no financial backers or big shot owners, meaning our news projecting is freed from business and political effects, which makes us extraordinary. Exactly when it's never been more critical, our opportunity licenses us to boldly inspect, challenge and uncover individuals with incredible impact. Thanks for watching, and subscribing to the channel.